What's up guys, this is MSC24X and you're watching AK Productions. Today I'll be showing you the top 10 PC games for a low-end PC, 2GB RAM and no GPU required. So let's move on to our top 10 list. Number 10. Prince of Persia: The Forgotten Sands. It's a multi-platform video game produced by Ubisoft, which was released in 2010. The game arc returned to the storyline started by Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time, and the game takes place in 7-year gap between The Sands of Time and the Warrior Village. It was released on all consoles and Microsoft Windows, and is the currently last PvP game available, and that's kind of sad thing. Number 9. Prototype.
I'm all of these things.
It's an open-world action-adventure video game. It's set in Manhattan. The game follows a powerful amnesiac shapeshifter named Alex Mercer, who is trying to stop an outbreak of a plague that mutates individuals into hideous, violent monsters. Parallel to the game, the storyline is the ability to play the game as a sandbox-style game, giving the person freedom to roam Manhattan. The game was a critical and a commercial success. Of course, it was an open-world game at that time. Number 8. Hitman Bloodline. It's a 2006 stealth video game developed by IO Interactive and was published by Eidos Interactive on Microsoft Windows and other consoles. The story follows the life of a hitman, Agent 47, as narrated in the cutscenes by a former director of the FBI to the journalist. In this game, the protagonist, Agent 47, must kill all the characters in order to complete its missions. The player guides Agent 47 to game's level from a third-person perspective, and there are a lot of new things in the game to make it difficult. For example, security checkpoints, armed guards, witnesses, and obstacles. And this game was a much improved version from its previous game, as many new features, actions, events were introduced in this game. Overall, the game was awesome and a huge success. Number 7. Resident Evil 4. It's a third-person shooter game developed by Capcom and is the 6th major installment in the Resident Evil series. It was a cross-platform hit, selling over 10 million copies across all platforms. The game was praised because of its narrative, gameplay, voice acting, and characters, and is widely considered one of the best games ever made, winning multiple Game of the Year awards in 2005. Number 6. Call of Duty World at War.
Right, you two! Take the left! Stay with me!
It's a 2008 first-person shooter game and was the fifth major game in the Call of Duty series. So what was the special thing about it? It was the first game in the series to feature zombies mode. So it was special for the publisher and also a unique game. Of course, it received positive reviews from critics and was a commercial success. It sold over 3 million copies in the United States within the first 2 months of its release, becoming one of the best-selling games in 2008.
Miller, over here!
Number 5. Far Cry 2. It's a 2008 first-person shooter game developed by Ubisoft. It was the second game in the Far Cry series. Besides, how the sequel has very few similarities to the original game, instead it features completely new characters and setting as changed style of the gameplay that allows the player greater freedom to explore different African landscapes such as deserts, jungles and savannahs. The game takes place in a modern day Central African nation during civil war. We are given the control of a mercenary on a lengthy journey to locate and assassinate the Jackal. So Far Cry 2 was released worldwide and got positive reviews and was a huge success, and personally it's an awesome game. Number 4. Mirror Edge. Mirror Edge is an action-adventure platform game developed by DICE in 2009. The game follows the story of Faith Connors, an underground courier who transmits messages while evading government surveillance. The game has a brightly colored and minimalist style. Mirror Edge received positive reviews from critics who praised its uniqueness and its expansive environments.
Yeah, I'm sure the birds are real impressed, mate. But once you finish showing off, you think you might concentrate on some actual work? Get Celeste in position for a handoff. You need to get the delivery to her. She'll be near the communications tower at him.
Number 3. Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons. It's an action-adventure game developed by Starbreeze Studios, and it's presented from a third-person view overlooking the two brothers. The player progresses by manipulating the two brothers at the same time to complete various puzzles, often requiring the other player to manipulate both brothers at the same time to perform different functions, such as one distracting a hostile NPC while the other makes their way around. The story is conveyed through actions, gestures, and expression. Number 2. Portal. Portal is a 2007 puzzle platform game developed and published by Valve. It consists primarily of a series of puzzles that must be solved by teleporting the player's character and simple objects using the Aperture Science handheld portal device, a device that can create interstitial spatial portal between two flat planes. And there's an AI in the game, which is the villain, artificial intelligence. The game's unique physics allows kinetic energy to be retained through the portals, requiring creative use of portals to maneuver through the test chambers. The gameplay element is based on a similar concept from the game Narbacular Drop. Portal was claimed as one of the most original games of 2007. Despite criticisms of its short duration and limited story, the game received praise for its originality, unique gameplay, and dark story with a humorous series of dialogues.
As part of a previously mentioned required test program.
Okay, so let's move on toward the number one game in the list, and that's Crysis. From the makers of Far Cry, Crysis offers FPS fans the best looking and the most highly evolving gameplay, requiring the player to use adaptive tactics to survive. It's a first-person shooter game created by German Crytek, and the story follows a group of military protagonists with nano suits, technological advanced suit of armor that give them enhanced physical strength, speed, defense, and cloaking abilities. The protagonists face off against hostile North Korean soldiers, heavily armed mercenaries. Choose your own path through the open world of Crysis, destroying obstacles, driving vehicles, even boats, and using the environment itself against your enemies. That's it, guys. That was our top 10 list for a low-end PC, and I hope you have enjoyed. And as always, thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, share, and the most important thing, press the bell icon. That's a very useful thing. So stay connected with AK Productions, and take a goodbye from MSC 24.